Hi, Algebra 1. Today we're going to be doing section 1.8, solving two-step equations. To review really quickly though, I am going to go over one-step equations and then start the two-step at the bottom. So just to review, one-step equations are exactly that. They're only one step to solve. So I'm going to run through a few different examples. If you have addition, you're always going to subtract, and if you have subtraction, you're always going to add. Same with division and multiplication, you're always going to do the opposite operation. So for the very first one, if it's m plus 12, I'm going to subtract it on each side. The 12s cancel, and we're left with m equals -2. Okay. Number 2, it's g subtract 9, so instead of subtracting, now I'm going to add. My answer would be g is going to equal 7. And I would like us to get into the habit of writing the variable first and then equals 7. And that's going to be for tomorrow. Okay, number 3, we have -7 times y. So to undo that, we are going to divide each side, because that's the opposite of multiplication. 2 negatives equal a positive, and then we have 13 as our solution. Lastly, number 4, we have a division problem with the variable in the numerator. So I'm going to take whatever's in the denominator and multiply that on each side. The 9's on the left cancel, and you're left with a equals -36. Okay, so that's old stuff. The next section is fractions, and it says on the left, to get rid of a fraction, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is just a fancy way to say flip over. So what I mean by flip over, for number 5, we have the fraction 2/3. The reciprocal of 2/3 is going to be 3/2. So you're going to multiply each side by the flipped over, okay, that's a 3, by the flipped over fraction. Okay, the fractions on the left cancel, and then we need to multiply these two fractions. So put a 1 underneath the 10, you can cross cancel, 10 goes into itself, and it goes, 2 goes into itself and it goes into 10. Goes into itself once, and it goes into the 10 5 times. So 5 times 3 is 15. Sorry, that was a little sloppy. Number 7, same thing. Now we have a -6/5 times k. So in order to undo it, we're going to flip it over and multiply by the reciprocal. So it would be a -5/6. And the same thing here, -5/6. The messy fractions on the left go away. Left with k equals. Put a 1 under the 12. Cross cancel. 6 goes into itself once and into 12 twice. And 2 times -5 gives you -10. Okay, so moving on to two-step equations, we're going to combine everything that is in the top. By tomorrow, I want you to also finish 6 and 8. Alright, so two-step equations, it's exactly that, 2 steps. You're going to undo the addition and subtraction first, and then you're going to do multiplication or division to remove the coefficient from the variable. So what I mean by that is, let's go ahead and hop to number 9. So it says undo the addition first. So we have addition here. So to undo it, I'm going to subtract 8 on each side. The 8's cancel, and you're left with 6x equals 42. Then you have multiplication, so we're going to divide each side by 6. So x equals 7. For number 10, now we have subtraction, so I am going to first add 5. 11 plus 5 is 16. Okay, then you're going to divide each side by 2. So n equals 8. Please go ahead and try 11 and 12 tonight. Okay. On the back, let's get into some harder problems. Now we have 2 steps but with division, so instead of dividing we're going to be multiplying. So let's go ahead and do 13 first. You're always going to add or subtract first, so before I do anything, I'm going to add 7. So I'll have 16 equals x over 2. Okay, just like the one step, to get anything out of the denominator, you're going to multiply on each side. 2's cancel. So then you have x equals 32. I'm just going to scroll down because I want you guys to try 14 on your own, 15 and 16. Let's do a few more examples. 17 and 18, the orders are a little different, so I want to make sure that we talk about those. So the first thing you're going to do, get rid of this negative 10, so you're going to add it on each side. Tens cancel. And you have 7 over 4p equals a negative 28. We have the fraction 7 over 4, so you have to multiply each side by its reciprocal, which is 4 over 7. The fractions on the left cancel, because they're the same thing, just opposites. Put a 1 under the 28, cross cancel. 7 goes into itself once, goes into 28 4 times. Negative 4 times 4 is a negative 16. Okay, scooting over to the right. Oops. We have this positive 9 here. So this subtraction sign to the right of the 9 doesn't belong to it, it belongs to the half. So because this is a positive 9, I'm going to subtract it. (15 minus 9 is 6. And then, like I said, the negative half belong together. Okay, to get rid of anything like a fraction next to a variable, we do the reciprocal. So negative 2 over 1, which, yes, is the same as just negative 2. That stuff on the right cancels. Negative 2 times 6 is just negative 12. And like I said, if we can start getting in the habit of writing your variable first equals negative 12, that'd be great. The bottom portion is just a little bit different. It's division, but now we have 2 terms in the numerator. So instead of it just being a number or a variable, now we have both. So in order to solve these at the bottom, you're going to use multiplication first and then deal with the addition and or subtraction. So let's do a few of these and then you're going to be responsible to do one. So because we have this 8 in the denominator and x plus 11 in the numerator, we have to get rid of the 8 before we can deal with the 11. So in order to do that, we're going to multiply each side by 8. The 8's cancel, and you're left with x plus 11 equals negative 24. Then you undo the addition by subtracting. So x equals negative 35. You guys are going to try 20. 21, it's set up just a little different, but I still have something in the denominator, so I'm going to multiply it on each side. The 6's cancel. So we have negative 6 equals a minus 13. Undo the subtraction next to the 13, so add it. So a equals 7. And again, try to write the variable first, so it's a equals 7. Please try 22 and all the other problems that I circled, and have a great night.